Hello everyone, and welcome. Today, we're diving into a powerful and urgent message found in the book of Joshua, chapter 23. It's a message that was vital for ancient Israel, and it rings with even greater significance for us, living on the very edge of Earth's history. As the great leader, Joshua prepared to say his final farewell to Israel. He gave them a solemn warning. He reminded them that God's covenant blessings and his covenant judgments stand side by side. At the very heart of his message is this plea. So be very careful to love the Lord your God. This isn't just an emotional suggestion. It's a command that lies at the core of our relationship with God. It's a call to obedience from a God of mercy, but also a warning of justice for those who choose to rebel. So, what does it mean when the Bible talks about God's anger? It's crucial to understand that God's anger is not like ours. It's not impulsive or vengeful. Instead, the Bible shows us it's his holy and righteous response to deliberate persistence, seen especially sin against his incredible love. As it says in Exodus, God is slow to anger and abounding in steadfast love. His anger isn't the opposite of love. It's the reaction of infinite love that has been rejected and violated. The spirit of prophecy confirms this, explaining that God's love is constantly shown through warnings and reproofs. His anger is simply him withdrawing his protection from those who refuse his mercy. So, when Joshua says to be careful to love the Lord, he's calling for a love shown through our actions and our obedience. Just as Jesus said, "If you love me, you will keep my commandments." Joshua's warning was very specific. He reminded the people that just as every single one of God's promises had been fulfilled, every one of his judgments would also come to pass if they turned away from him. History shows this pattern time and again. God's wrath came upon Israel when they repeatedly rejected his pleadings. His anger was kindled against those who disrespected his holiness. We see in the story of Achan how one person's sin brought a crisis upon the entire nation. The shepherd's rod explains that a similar confrontation will happen in the last days, during the purification of the church. God's anger will break out because those in positions of trust have betrayed that trust. This powerful message highlights that judgment begins in the house of God before it falls on the rest of the world. Prophecy points to a final display of God's justice. Revelation speaks of the 7 last plagues as the culmination of divine wrath poured out on a world that has completely rejected mercy. But it is important to remember what the spirit of prophecy makes clear. God's wrath will not fall until every single person has had the opportunity to see the light and make their choice. Before these plagues, God will first purify his church, preparing a people to carry the final gospel message with incredible power. This makes Joshua's warning a direct message for spiritual Israel today. So, what must we do? What is our response to this urgent warning? Joshua gives us one clear directive. Be very careful to love the Lord your God. How do we demonstrate this love? First, through obedience to his commandments, not as a burden, but as an act of loyalty to our loving Creator. Second, by separating ourselves from worldly alliances that weaken our faith. Israel's downfall repeatedly came from mixing with pagan practices. The Bible warns us, do not be unequally yoked. Third, we must remember God's past victories. Joshua pointed to all that God had already done for them. We too must recall how God has led us in the past, so our faith won't fail in the coming crisis. And finally, we must stand firm in this closing work. We need to understand that God's anger is the unavoidable consequence of rejecting his love. Therefore, God's people are called to cherish holiness, stand covered in Christ's righteousness, and walk faithfully in our covenant relationship with him. Must prepare for the purification of the church and the final loud cry. The message from Joshua, given thousands of years ago, is God's final message to us today. Love God with your whole heart. Obey his covenant. Separate from sin and apostasy. Stand firm as God prepares to purify his church and finish his work. The anger of the Lord is not for his faithful people, but for those who refuse his mercy. His appeal to us is the same as it was to them. Be very careful to love the Lord your God. Thank you for watching. If this message has been a blessing to you, please like, share, and subscribe for more studies on present truth.